Once again, I'm Lundy Mike Hango here with two-time WBF World Champion Chad Bennett. And this Kiwi is now based down at Brisbane, trains out of the corporate box. What can you tell us about him?
Mike, I know Ben quite well. He's done a lot of kickboxing, MMA. He's switched over to boxing now, and mate, he's still learning his craft. As you know, they're different sports, but he's learning quite quickly. So, mate, he's impressed me lately in his preparation, and I think he can achieve a bit in the sport. But he's got his work cut out tonight in Stephen Anak. A very solidly built guy, and I believe he's got a bit of pop in his punches too.
Well, he should have. He's built like a short portable house. And Ben Kelleher coming off a draw with Brett Peters. He had a KO victory over Satria Anatsina and a split decision draw with Daniel Russell in his last 3 fights. But he does have an experience advantage. Referee for tonight's fight, Chirchai Chinona Sri Chirat, our third man in centre ring. And if we stack them up on the cards, the experience in favour of Ben Kelleher, similar weights, the height advantage in Kelleher's favour, and a similar KO percentage. Once again, this is a Cruiserweight bout, the UBO Asia Pacific Cruiserweight title on the line. 8 by 3-minute rounds. Kelleher coming out of the red corner on the left of your screen. Anak, the short, stocky fighter, moving forward out of the blue corner. And, well, it's pretty clear what his intentions are, Chad. Move forward, try and slip on the outside and work that body.
Yeah, he's
big
definitely
left hook early.
Sorry, he's definitely going to try and get inside, Mike. He knows that Kelleher's got the reach advantage, and he's going to try and cut it off and come over the top with some heavy shots, which he's doing.
Does need to be cautious though. His first couple of bouts have just been 4 threes, and one of those was a KO. 8 minutes is just a bit more of a middle distance run than a sprint than he might perhaps be used to.
Yeah, and Kelleher's worked very hard in the gym, I do know that, and he's a very fit guy, but he wants to really be careful of getting caught with some of these overhand shots. So hopefully Ben's defence is in order, but Anak's come out on the front foot.
Nice little check hook, turning himself back around into centre ring, and that'll be a big part of what he wants to do, just keeping the shorter fighter turning, and again trying to do that with the check hook there, but backing up in a straight line, which is not what he wants to do. Otherwise, he'll have the shorter, more powerful fighter, the fire plug, wailing away to the body. And that can be very energy-sapping later on in the bout.
Oh, definitely. Those body shots, they might not sting straight up, but by the end of the fight, they take their toll, that's for sure, when you've got no legs and no fuel in the tank. But Kelleher, if he gets off the ropes, he has landed with a right uppercut a few times, and he's been pretty successful. He's quite an exciting guy when he lets his hands go.
He's warming into his work. We're heading into the final minute of this, the first round. Nice little hand trap there. He pulled down the left glove with his own left hand, and that created a space for his right hand. He's also starting to hook it nicely as opposed to shooting it straight down the tubes. Anak, he does have thudding punches, but I'm not so sure they're sharp punches. You know, the cut versus the pushing you backward kind of shot.
Definitely. Kelleher managed to spin him very nicely earlier, and he needs to do a lot more of that to try and get Anak off balance so his feet aren't so set for those big shots. But he's coming forward, and he's doing the best he can, and he's having a bit of success of his own.
Kelleher working well. He's turning him out at ease. For the most part, he's taking those shots on the gloves. I think he feels pretty confident he can parry and work. There's a double-fisted body shot, set of body shots there. Nice work with the uppercut. Final 20 seconds of this, the first round. He looks like he's selecting his punches far better, tripling up with the left hand there.
Yeah, I think Kelleher's starting to get into a little bit of a rhythm now, and he's landed some very nice shots and finishes the round off nicely.
Well, that's the end of the first round of 8 for this UBO Asia Pacific Cruiserweight crown. Ben Kelleher heads back to his corner in the red corner. Stephen Anak, just some worrying signs in that final minute. He did well early on, moving forward, but he's the slower of the two, and Ben Kelleher seems to be more accurate. So the difference between, I guess, the amateur and the pros is that I tend to favour the work of Ben Kelleher because it was more accurate and more cutting, if you like.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, Mike. Kelleher landed the more flush, cleaner punches in the first round, but Anak's work ethic's pretty good. He's coming forward and he's trying to punch out some volume. Just a matter of if he can persist in doing it.
And once again, this is bout is fought under the unified rules of boxing. Only the referee can stop the fight. There are no standing 8 counts, and it has to go into the 4th round before an accidental head clash to go to the cards. Underway, round 2. Kelleher straight off with a crisp combination. Looking at nice little crisp right hand there. Set it up with a slapping left hook. He's parrying well now. He's starting to read the slower shots of Anak, and his footwork's a little better as well. Although that was some nice work from Anak there just for a moment, but Kelleher turns him and then goes downstairs himself. Good upstairs, downstairs work to the body and head.
Yeah, very nice work by Kelleher. He needs to get off these ropes and start turning Anak around. He's having a lot of success when he does that. But Anak, he keeps coming forward. He's persisting, and while he does this, he's making a fight of it. Yeah,
I think Kelleher fancies himself that he's able to pick off his shots. I don't think he's intimidated by the power of Anak, so he's getting away with sitting on the ropes there, bobbing and weaving, looking to work his infighting and counterfight off the inside. But he does his best work when he turns him and gets back out in the centre ring, as he did there.
Yeah, as you could just see, that was nice boxing by Kelleher. He's landing some good shots. Anak has got a good set of whiskers because Kelleher's landed flush several times, and he keeps coming forward.
Things going out of the shots of Anak while Kelleher starts to ramp it up. He's got to be cautious about just dipping in there with his right hand down. He doesn't want to eat a half left hook or uppercut. Kelleher doing good work with his hands there and fighting well. Back out into centre ring, and Anak's just getting into this habit now. He's following, and Kelleher's starting to load up a lot more on the shots. Good right hand, pile driver jab, big uppercut. Anak sucking it up now, visibly wobbled by that. And a lot of sting gone out of his shots. Doesn't seem to be able to answer back with any effective power.
Beautiful uppercut by Kelleher. That really found the mark. He needs to land a couple more of them.
The good chipping shots on the inside. Good head movement, dropped under the right hand. Little short uppercuts on the inside. And now that Anak's starting to wing his punches a little more, those shots are working for Kelleher. Just a less impressive version of the Philly shell there, a little bit upright. If you're going to shell up, you need to tuck down and away from the shots.
One thing about Anak, Mike, is he doesn't have any reverse gears. He comes forward, and he's trying his very best to make a fight of this, and Kelleher's boxing very well, but Anak just keeps coming forward. He's working hard, going to the body. It's a pretty entertaining fight.
Well, you know exactly what. There's another big uppercut followed by the right hand. Anak sucks it up. Decent set of whiskers shown so far. Another round, you can lock that one away for Ben Kelleher, unofficially, of course, on our scorecards. It's our first professional fight of the evening here at the Roar of Singapore 2. Pride of Singapore put together a superb card by the Ring Star Promotions team. We're here at the Sentosa Resorts World Ballroom, a superb venue, and we've got a packed house. There's that beautiful uppercut and right hand. Kelleher really starting to put some nice combinations together. If you're in Stephen Anak's corner, what are you telling him, Chad?
Basically, I'd tell Anak to keep moving forward, maybe try and work Kelleher's body a bit more. He was having some success, but basically the best thing he can do is keep Kelleher against the ropes.
Well, here we go. Seconds are out as we head into the third round of this 8-round UBO Cruiserweight title fight. Nice little right hand to start things off from Kelleher. Good combination work. Quadruples up on the body shots there. Anak just doesn't have the trigger speed. He can't pull the trigger quite quick enough. Nice work from Kelleher there. Good work with the forearm. Tied him up. Work the shoulder. For a guy who's relatively inexperienced in the professional ranks, he's showing some nice skills.
He is, Mike. He's actually come out going to the body. So I think Kelleher's trainer has instructed him to try and attack Anak's body and see if they can have some success. And he's boxing very well at the moment, Kelleher.
Just needs to be cautious of the uppercut, but he's too quick for Anak. Anak doesn't seem to be able to find the gear to catch him. And Kelleher has hit a nice groove, choosing when he's throwing the pit-a-pat punches. Sometimes he'll load up. Nice little sharp right hand, parrying with the cross-glove defense. Anak's continuing to walk forward, but Kelleher's just starting to get a bit more pop on his shoulder there. You see him bouncing him off, and you wouldn't expect that with a guy with the build of Anak.
Yeah, definitely. Kelleher's starting to find the mark pretty regular now, but one thing about Anak, he's just there. He just keeps coming forward. He's got very good ticker, and he's definitely trying. And as long as he's on his feet, he's in the fight, and that's what we're here. That's what the fans want to see.
Well, Kelleher tripling up with 3 very solid jabs. Lands the right hand, goes downstairs to the body. Slapping left hooks from Anak. Kelleher's obviously chasing that floating rib area or the liver shot with his left rib. Nice little counter right hand, then the uppercut spins him out of the corner. Minute to go in this, the third round. Haven't seen much of a sign of either boy being wobbled yet. But there is a mouse under the eye, left eye of Anak, and you can see why. He's eating up a lot of shots. Kelleher now pretty much landing at will. And Anak doesn't have a reverse gear, and he really needs it sometimes. Needs to move that head. Can't rely on the face block defense.
Yeah, Kelleher's starting to throw a good variation of punches, but Anak, he's just there. He just... Oh,
big right hand. Now Anak's been wobbled. Kelleher looking for the hand trap. Anak smiles at him and walks forward, closes down the gap again. Those were big punches. He cannot afford to take those. We're only halfway through the fight. Well, another big round for Ben Kelleher, the boy based out of Brisbane, originally from New Zealand. Halfway through the fight, and he's on his way to a shutout. He might have shared the first round, but Stephen Anak needs to find something special, Chad, because he's losing this quite comfortably.
Yeah, definitely Anak needs to, he's got to find some spark. Kelleher was behind a little bit by the end of the last round, but Anak, he's getting outboxed. And if I was Kelleher, I'd be instructing. I mean, if I was Kelleher's trainer, I'd be instructing him to box smartly from here on in, and use his jab a little bit more and keep Anak at range.
Looks like he's calling for a double up on the right hand. Really wants him just to tip the elbow over, generate maximum leverage. Anak's major problem now is he's just getting predictable. He's not moving his head. He eats a left hook to start the round. Ben Kelleher with his back to us, the taller of the two. And Stephen Anak, Malaysian fighter. The short fire plug, squat fighter, powerful. But at the moment, he's eating a lot of shots. And Ben Kelleher picking when he loads up, picking when he pit-a-pats. Nice work from Anak momentarily, but Kelleher gets his way out of trouble and just looks to be able to step up a gear when he feels like it. Changing angles. Needs to be cautious. He's getting a little lazy on that jab, though, if Anak can find an overhand right. Shoulder rolling. Ben Kelleher. Anak just doesn't have the ability to accelerate and catch him when he's making mistakes like that, drifting along the ropes.
Anak, yeah, he landed some good punches earlier on at the start of the round. He's backed off a little bit now, but he needs to mix it up, throw some different variation of punches. But Kelleher, he's boxing pretty smart at the moment.
Kelleher using his range. He's got superior speed, better defensively, and a good punch variety. Anak exploding forward, trying to do some work on the ropes, but he does all that work to get there, and then he can't trap his man on the ropes and work where he's going to be most effective.
Yeah, Kelleher's getting off the ropes now. He's using good defence, and Anak's, I think he'd be a little bit frustrated. He shows a little bit of good head movement himself there, Anak.
Bit of subtlety there from Kelleher. Few of the tricks from the dark arts of boxing. He's obviously a keen student of the game. There's a big right hand. Anak soaks it up and just smiles. Plenty more where that came from, son. Big uppercut once again, but barely wobbled back on his heels. Chopping right hand from Kelleher. 30 seconds to go. Slapping left hook. Didn't turn the knuckle, but was enough to get himself back out and off the ropes. Ben Kelleher, the taller fighter, with his back to us. Stephen Anak, well behind on the judges' cards. And constantly pressing forward, but not able to make much of an impact. Eats another left hand in between shots. Oh, there we go. We're halfway through the bout. Both boys starting to look a little weary. And this will be a test for Ben Kelleher, Chad, because he's thrown his best shots and he hasn't really wobbled Anak at all. And he's going to have to think about how he goes about it, make sure he doesn't get careless, doesn't get caught by a big shot.
Yeah, definitely. Both boys blowing at the end of this last round. Kelleher's boxing well, but the one thing about Anak, he's there constantly. He's in front of your face, and Ben needs to keep boxing. He needs to stick that jab out a little bit more, but he's working very nicely at the moment, throwing a very good variation of punches. He just needs to keep a nice tight defence and try and keep Anak away.
Yeah, I just noticed there, and he did it a couple of times in that fourth round. When he threw the right hand, he just stepped over with it, which took away his left hook follow-up. If he can just leverage off that rear right leg, he might find he lands two shots rather than the one. Round 5 underway. Kelleher starts with a brutal combination to body and head. Kelleher's used that shoulder well. And of course, something you see a lot more in the professional ranks, but not so much in the amateurs, Chad.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the shoulder roll can be a very effective. You don't see it in the amateurs at all, basically, but in the pros, a lot of fighters try and master it. And the best guy of it is Mayweather Jr., as we all know. And, here comes Anak.
Oh, he's relentless. He's continually finding a way forward, trying to wear his man down. It's a big uppercut, but he just sucked that one up. Definitely some iron content in his chin. And this can be tiring stuff for Ben Kelleher. Eats the left hook. And just bobbed into that one. And this is the fatigue starting to set in the second half of the fight. Sting now going out of the punches of Kelleher. Do well just to back off and box for a little bit, take the sting out of his shots and just accumulate points. Anak's just looks like he's got a little more confidence now. I think he's taken Kelleher's best shots, hands down, trying to goad him into a mistake.
Definitely, Anak's, I'm impressed with his chin. Kelleher's landed some very good shots. He just keeps coming.
Well, there's a great example. He got clipped by the right uppercut and still landed his own left hook. Ben Kelleher looking to his corner. Nice overhand right there. Follows up with the uppercut, left hook. Mouth open though, breathing pretty heavily. 50 seconds to go in this, the 5th round of 8. Our first professional fight of the evening. We saw that there. He's just overloading with the right hand. Takes away his options for following up with the left hook. A noticeable slowing down of pace. But there's some good work now from Kelleher. Big shot there, and another big shot right on the chin, and he's fallen onto the judges' tables. The judges cannot help him back in. He has to make his own way back into the ring. 9 seconds to go in the round. Looks like it was a pretty good time for him. Just 4 seconds. The bell may save him. Another big right. Oh, the referee jumps straight in. Treacherard stopped it with less than a second to go in the 5th round. Ben Kelleher, well, just as it looked as if he wouldn't be able to hurt him, Stephen Anak caught by a series of right hands, bundled onto the table, made his way back in, but couldn't recover in time to prevent the referee stopping him.
Mike, I think it was a good stoppage by the referee. Kelleher landed some very good right hands that hurt Anak. He was noticeably hurt. He went down, he got back to his feet, but he walked straight into another big right hand, and it was a good stoppage by the referee, but a good performance by Kelleher, and those rounds were hard rounds, and they'll certainly benefit him.
Well, he'll look back, he'll look at what he did well, he'll look at the mistakes he made at times, and look, a brave performance, and for the most part, up until that moment, a very clean set of whiskers shown by Stephen Anak. But he's got a bit of work to do. I don't think it'd hurt him to lose a bit of weight as well. That'll improve his speed. Tonight's promoter, Scotty O'Farrell, put together a great card. We'll just await Richard Avery, our ring announcer, to do the formalities and announce the formal result. That bout for the UBO Asia Pacific Cruiserweight title. And UBO supervisor Sebastian David across here from Europe.
Of the UBO Asia Pacific Cruiserweight title, and still champion Ben Kelleher!
Well, Ben Kelleher in the 5th round, just a second to go on the clock. It was a stoppage victory over a very rugged and durable Stephen Anak. And tune in for our next bout. It's a special 4x3 minute round bout. Ex-UFC fighter Taylor Lapilus making his professional boxing debut.